welcome CPAC CFO, Mercy Schlatt, Astrid Gavins, Chair of the Virginia Latino Advisory Board, Sergio Delapeña, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Western Hemisphere, and Fabiola Mujer from El Salvador.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Are we learning a lot? Are we getting a lot of information? Well, this now is going to be all about information. I'm so excited to have experts in now we're in addition to what we've done with Maggie going out, going into Venezuela, going into El Salvador. I have the great honor of having Fabiola Bukele. I'm sure you're familiar with that last name. A family member of the great president, Nayib Bukele, who Matt and I had the honor to go to his inauguration in El Salvador, and we got to walk through San Salvador and really see the transformation that he has done in that great country. So tell me, you grew up there. Yes. What changes have you seen with the president now in power and what he's been able to do to make El Salvador the safest country in the Western Hemisphere? Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a great opportunity. Just to give you a little bit of context, El Salvador back in like 2015 was declared the murder capital of the world. So it has been a huge change. I like to say that it takes God and one man for courage. I was today at the National Prayer Breakfast, so he spoke, he gave us reports, but he specifically said that it was I think that every country should take El Salvador as an example and to take what he did and adapt it to every situation is what you should do. And also, Trump gave a few words where he said that peace cannot be, you cannot have peace without strength. So when Nayib Bukele took over back in 2019, he came up with a strategy called the Territorial Control Plan, and where he implemented two phases. So he did the preparation, he modernized the army, the whole police, but it was in 2022 where it all started, where, well, in March, the gangs there started like a mass shooting, killing people just to prove their power. So what we did was with the help of the Congress, this is why Congress is a very important part in the war with the gangs. He declared the state of exception. So he took the military to extremes, he deployed them, and the military went to the communities and extract the gangs. Because in El Salvador, our case was that the gang members were treated as street criminals, for example, which is not, they're terrorists. They kill people. I remember one time that they burned a bus down full of people. It was horrible. This is inhumane. So basically, the gangs were not just criminals, they were like a structure. They were a parallel government. And you cannot really you cannot negotiate with a parallel government. You have to extract them out of the society. And this is what he did. Now, looking, you said you worked in the Department of Defense under President Trump during the first term in the area of Western Hemisphere. I want to get your perspective because as we talked about Mexico, El Salvador, Venezuela, where we know that thank God, I'm realizing that former dictator Maduro, Nicolas Maduro, is out of there, but he was a big part of pushing this narco-terrorism and organizing crime in that area. Walk us through how that was the case, how that happened in the Maduro.
Well, let me start with President Trump and his administration. If you'll recall, we had one of the best alignments that we'd ever had in the history of the hemisphere. The only countries that were out of alignment were Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Bolivia, kind of. And then along came COVID. COVID changed everything because it locked everybody down. So they blamed the governments. There's a significant drop in GDP and people weren't happy, so the government flipped over. As you're seeing now, we're seeing a resurgence of those that are more aligned with the United States and with the Trump administration. We've got elections coming up in Peru. We've got elections coming up in Colombia and same thing in Brazil. And if you look at what's happened in Honduras, what happened in Argentina, the alignment is coming back. The one that made me question a bit, and I think it possibly he can return is Brazil. So when that happened, what occurred was you had this this willingness to go after somebody like Mr. Maduro, because first of all, he was elected. He's a usurper and a criminal, and President Trump says, "I'm going to go and arrest him." There was a bounty out for his arrest, and that's exactly what he executed. It doesn't specify tax, so we need to return those people that came here back to the countries of under the Biden administration, we had 2.5 billion unknowns or gotaways. So out of that pool, we could have terrorists, we could have spies, we could have political activists, and they're here. And so this is what the president is now doing and reversing that trend. But in the meantime, we've been able to get all those people into this country, and that's not a good thing because the drug traffickers are there as well.
Well, Astrid, you're Venezuelan, you're an activist here in Virginia. I think people need to understand how bad was the drug situation in Venezuela. I think like Maduro did really work with these cartels. It's one of the reasons why it was extracted from that country. The narco terrorism issue in Venezuela was very extensive.
Thank you so much for having me here, Mercedes. And that's a topic that is very close to my heart because I moved my family in 1989 to Venezuela, to San newborn. My husband, after we got there, a month after, it was a crazy situation with the government. My husband was like, why did you bring us here? I said, because we are going to have a lot of nice business. And we are going to be successful. And we are very young and get rich. And he was like, okay. So it was a very fantastic. My husband came here to live and he stayed there with the business. And let me tell you, this problem with the drugs was for a long time in Venezuela. Our company was a seafood company, and we serve seafood in Venezuela here, and we have to pay people to save our treatment because they used to drug us. So we knew that was happening. So after Maduro and Chavez started. He knew that it was something he's big one. Which I don't know why we were the rich country this oil. Why do we want to be in the side? But that's the way we're going. So we have been very happy what is happening right now because the drugs has been a big problem in Venezuela. We have the government taking drugs in the own place that they use for the government things. We are like they took over all Venezuela and they control everything in Venezuela. So we are very glad that that's happy. Venezuelans, we are happy. I have been here for 31 years and people say, are you happy? Are you upset about what's happening in Venezuela? People call me and say, you must be very upset about what Trump did. He attacked Venezuela.
Well, you're going to have to share that set because she was at a town hall with this Democrat congressman and whatnot.
I went there because I knew that my main point was, well, it's not about Venezuela. I want to see, knowing these Democrat parties, point of view, I want to